It's now time for Energy Insights, where you get an inside view and local perspectives of all the oil and gas progress going on in the Mid-Ohio Valley. This program is being brought to you by the Southeastern Ohio Oil and Gas Association and can be heard every Saturday at 9 a.m. on local radio WMOA AM 1490 and ESPN Radio WJAW FM 100.9 and AM 630. It's now time for the show. Here's Johnny Wharf, your local host.
Johnny Wharf on a Saturday morning. Energy Insights brought to you each and every Saturday here on the radio by the Southeastern Ohio Oil and Gas Association. Ignore the voices in the background or the man behind the curtain. We're at a trade show at Merida College and pleased to be joined with George Stark, who is with Cabbot Oil and Gas. And maybe first a little background on Cabbot, if you could tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, sir. Again, Cabbot Oil and Gas. We're up in Pennsylvania, operations out of Pittsburgh. We're Pennsylvania's largest dry gas producer. So we're about 300 employees in the Marcellus, and every day we're producing about 3 BCF of natural gas from one county. We've been in Susquehanna County for about 10 years, and our investment has been about $10 billion.
Wow.
One county.
Yeah. That's crazy good. One question I'd never asked a previous guest, that the girl Kennedy Copeland that I had on before, is what's your age and how long have you been in the industry? Because you don't ask that to women, but I'm going to ask you because I know you don't care. And I want to preface that by saying how the industry has changed since you got into it.
Sure. So I graduated college in 1989, 53 years old. And upon graduating out of Dickinson College, I was fortunate enough to go straight into the environmental field. I worked for the Pennsylvania House of Representatives, and I was an oversight in what was then called DER. But from there, I went to work for Columbia Gas. Spent 15 years with Columbia Gas, and now I got 10 years with Cabbot. So it has been wonderful to sort of be that person helping with getting regulations and legislation passed, being an oversight, and then going into the distribution side of the world, and now this transformational production side of the world.
Okay, technology as it relates to certainly where we were and where we are, and I know it changes in every industry, but probably more so in this one and recently.
And it has. The technology is something that I don't think we get enough credit for. You know, we are operating in a brand new county in Susquehanna, and when we try to explain what it is we do, the folks will wonder if we're fishing with dynamite.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my goodness, nothing could be further from the truth. Let me show you how we take a pipeline, go vertical to then go horizontal. And even when I talk about this, the story I told 10 years ago was different 5 years ago, and it's totally different today.
Right.
The amount of distance we can go with the lateral, the strength, the scope and scale of the resource, it's unbelievable. Every year we're innovating. Every year the technology makes us a better operator. And again, we use things like 3D printing. We utilize robotics. We utilize artificial intelligence to do what we do. So when people get excited for Google and Amazon and Uber, we have exactly what they're doing in 10 times.
Yeah.
That's what's so fun about it, and so that's why it's fun to be here at Marietta College talking to the students and getting them to be comfortable in their skin to talk about how they mastered their major, and they are critical thinkers and problem solvers. That's what our industry is. We just use a lot of technology to get the job done.
Yeah, and get young people excited about it, which certainly is an important thing in any business. George Stark is our guest. He's with Cabbot Oil and Gas out of Pennsylvania. How about moving from the environmental side into, I guess, the production side, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. When I think about it from a production side, again, what we were seeing a year, I shouldn't say a year, but 8 years ago, the best a well could produce for us, again, was, somewhere around 10 BCF over its life. Those wells in Susquehanna County to now are producing 27 billion cubic feet over their life. That's their EUR. Again, we now know the resource is that rich. And now we've got to bring better critical thinking to the production of how do we go and get more out of the ground. The ground's willing to give it to us, but it's the idea that we got to be smart enough and harness the technology to take a well from, again, 10 BCF over its life to now 27. And remember, when we arrived, if a well would produce 1 BCF over its life, that was a home run. Yeah. And here we are today saying 27 BCF. It's crazy.
Yeah. One more question, because my listeners would beat me up if I don't ask it, but the success that you've seen where your feet are right, not this minute, but where you're from in Susquehanna County in Pennsylvania, do you anticipate that will flow to this area? I know it's the $64,000, $64 million, whatever it is, right?
Yeah. When I think about how the success flows here, what I look at is what we're now able to produce as a region. Pennsylvania, Ohio, and West Virginia. That region is truly a powerhouse. So yes, we might be on the edge of it in Susquehanna County, but what I know is it's rising all boats. And Marietta, Belmont, St. Clairsville, Wheeling, Washington, Pittsburgh, they're all rising based on the record amount of natural gas production. Again, the production is one thing. We've got to put that gas to use. Marietta, Parkersburg are prepared to take that natural gas and do something with it and really focus on the manufacturing side. So to me, that's the strongest suit that will flow here, is the opportunity to do something with that natural gas.
The program's called Energy Insights, and that is exactly what we're getting from George Stark. He's with Cabbot Oil and Gas, and we thank you for your time, sir, and your insights. I appreciate it very much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Energy Insights, brought to you by the Southeastern Ohio Oil and Gas Association. Tune in every Saturday at 9 a.m. on WMOA and ESPN Radio WJAW as Johnny Wolf brings you your local and inside perspectives of the oil and gas progress going on in the Mid-Ohio Valley.